Alright, so the purpose of this video is to review the farming from the Circuit on Team Dissidance. Something that you'll notice, like I've already reviewed this entire video with the support. We noticed that the junglers in general, not just the Circuit, but also the Osiris on the enemy team, were just vastly underleveled. And that shouldn't be a thing. I think it was like level 13, like, or level 15, maybe 23 minutes into the game, or it was like something just drastically, like something was wrong. Like just looking at like the levels, you could just see something that just wasn't right. The mid lane was just super farmed, and that's great. Like, they're farming good, and they're getting, fed, quote unquote, fed farmed. But the reason why that's not great, it's good but not great, because the jungler needs to be one of the strongest people on your team, as in the most farm, because they have the potential to influence everywhere on the map, not just the mid laner influencing mid slash duo lane. Circuit being so far behind in this game, especially being such a squishy character. I think Circuit was like level 13 trying to fight a level 19 Freya at one point. She has no health. The amount of damage that the Freya is doing inherently just off of ability scaling and not items is just going to be just like, is going to just decimate her and just destroy any chances of Circuit even doing anything this game, and making it super hard for Circuit to even get any kills and being on the back line, because they're just so farmed. Like the mid and the ADC was just like 18, 19, just super far ahead. Circuit was level 13. Like there's no kill potential that Circuit could do. And then whenever she starts getting picks, because the team's working well together, she's able to get farmed super quickly because of that huge level discrepancy. Then she could start getting more kills more frequently, but that doesn't defeat the fact that there's something going on and something wrong between the mid and the jungle's farm in this game for this team, that something needs to be fixed, and I'm here to review it. So we're going to watch it. I think we're going to watch it at 2x speed, just to try and keep things a little short, and see what's really going on with the Circuit's farm. So, hello game. I am watching. 2x speed, okay. Oh yeah, the game was paused, that's right. I was confused. The game was paused for a long time. Okay. Can we see the map? I am bad at using the HUD toggle menu map. F9. There we go. That's what we need to see. Okay. So I guess we're going to wait out their pause. Maybe give it a little. Okay. Something I do note, Vulcan's already picking up his ability. Circuit's already picking up her ability. Circuit's fine picking up her ability early because she has that as an escape. But Vulcan picking up an ability so early, and characters in general, like so early, like if they get caught, you have no way to get out. So if he gets caught right now, he can throw down a turret and that's all. He should be waiting to pick up abilities in case something goes wrong, and he needs to kind of have peel for himself. Should be setting up for 23 minutes, right on the dot. 23 seconds. Nope. Could be a little bit faster than that. You should have used your one right away, because you want to have that on cooldown as soon as possible, coming into clearing these back camps and coming to clear the speed. Do note that, like I said, the camp spawns at 23 seconds, and so you want to have that done as soon as possible. Your swan's still up. You're wasting time. You're wasting a lot of time just to try and conserve mana. Osiris has slow clear, but you could have been here and been there, done it over with a lot faster. Osiris split mid, that's good. I do think that splitting mid is pretty important. At least until you're hit level 5. So Vulcan did red by himself, it looks like. Serket's just looking around, doesn't know what to do. Trying to gank solo lane, or duo lane. Missed a whole lot of farm. Okay, so right here, the gank in duo lane was great. Whether it was communicated or not, I'm not entirely sure. But what happened here is Serket rotated over to duo lane, but got nothing out of it. She got an active, but I mean that doesn't. I mean, you know, she won't probably be around to gank duo lane again for another like 2 minutes because of the way the speed rotation, the back camps, and then the blue rotation works. So whenever she gets around to it, their actives are going to be up again. So that leaves duo lane to be kind of aggressive here, even though they lost their shell as well. But Serket, instead of going straight to mid and then ganking duo lane, like lost a lot of, you know, like splitting that wave, lost a lot of farm potential. And her not getting anything out of duo to kind of like balance that out puts her super far behind. And so she's going to have to go straight to back camps to go to speed. And so I think that's in the period of like, what, 30 to 45 seconds, she got back camp farm. And that's really it. Because she leaves duo lane right away to give duo lane that XP. And okay, she gets oracles. Oracles don't give a lot of XP or a lot of gold. They just give vision mostly. It's more beneficial if you can to try and let the one person solo that because of the amount of farm it gives off. So 2.5 minutes into the game, you're level 2, almost level 3. Okay. Okay, something I want to quickly talk about. This is something that's going to kind of speed up your farm a little bit and not a lot of people are aware of, and this is something that goes with gods with auto attack chains, not the one times. As a god with an auto attack chain, you want to hit your autos, like your strongest auto on the strongest minion. So as Serket, I think her auto chain's like 1.75, 0.75, like 1.25 or something like that, 1.5. So the way you want to chain your autos instead of attacking just one minion, you want to make it to where, like I said, your big auto attack attacks the big one. So if we're going to watch this over again, Serket doing that back camp or doing speed in the, you know, so that's good. You cleared that really fast. We're going to go to speed, kind of slow it down to kind of keep things simpler. So you should be hitting, the way it should be working is small. Okay, that's, I mean, when your one's up, that doesn't really matter, but when it comes to like your like 1 to level 5, and your clear is like kind of a little bit slow, it kind of does matter because you can go a little bit faster. So you should be hitting small, not small again. You need a small, and then your big auto should always hit that big one. Because you hit that big one on the small one, you could have been doing a lot more damage to this big one, and that could be dead after that auto right there, and you could be moving on. So it could be a little bit faster. So with Mercury, it's like 1.7, was it? 1.75, 0.5, 1.25 for Mercury, I believe. So, for instance, with Mercury, you want to be like the 1 on the big one, the 0.75 on the small one, the 0.5 on the small one, the 1.25 on the big one. And you kind of want to balance out your auto chain equally so that you're able to clear a lot more optimally. I learned that one from Trifecta's coach. It actually is pretty smart to think about. Not something that you really micromanage a lot, and it's a good pro tip when it comes to you farming. So all in all, out of this entire game, you split like 3 archers with mid. You lost left mids. Mid wave is coming up again. So you're just starving yourself. Like jungle, it's not just your job to farm the jungle. Like I want you to kind of get this in your mind. Your job is to find farm wherever it's available, whether it's splitting mid or not. Like you're still like, so something I discussed with the support is he's splitting mid a lot, right? And that's fine, but he's leaving the ADC to farm like tremendously. And the ADC does get big, and the ADC I think is like level 19 while you're level 13. It doesn't matter if the ADC's level is a lot stronger than you. Like I explained at the beginning of this video, if you're not one of the strongest people on your team or on the map, you're not going to have the tremendous amount of pressure you could have, because an on her, it doesn't matter what level on her is. Like on her could be like level fucking 15 and you could be like level 11, and he could be going into rotating into a Gold Fury fight, then that's okay. But you're not going to see that on her go really frequently into mid lane. Like you're not going to see that on her go frequently to contest solo buffs, or you're not going to see that on her frequently to contest red, because he's going to be, he can rotate to red, but you're going to be the one that's controlling the jungle. So you need to naturally be the strongest character or in the most farmed right next to your mid laner. So what you're doing, not splitting enough, is putting you behind. I know in your mind you're thinking the right thing to do is to let mid have all the farm, but you need to be as strong, if not more powerful than the mid, because jungle is so important in this meta, and you being strong like that controls this entire game. So we're going to keep watching. See that whole, and this is just an example, right? Vulcan backed, midwave is getting shoved in. Osiris is splitting that right now, or taking that. You should be taking that farm right there because no one else is taking it. Like that minion wave is going to be getting pushed into the tower, and you're going straight for back camps. You could be keeping those back camps up, clearing that, clearing mid. You were just at midwave, clearing the midwave, going to back camps, and splitting that with Vulcan, and then going to midwave again because there's nothing else to farm. There's nothing else to farm on the map, and so when you go from midwave, or you can start looking to gank somewhere. Okay, where is the buff? What buff is going to be up next? Like if I have, for instance, blue buff coming up and I want to take that blue buff experience, I can go look to gank solo lane, and then what happens is if solo lane's gank fails, you have a buff to, like kind of put on your back foot. Like, all right, the gank failed, no big deal. I have blue buff to farm. Or alternatively, if red buff's coming up, it's like, okay, I can go gank, hit it high, go gank dual lane. If dual lane's gank fails, I can go look to go take my red buff, and all right, no big deal, and then speed buffs up, and then you can do that. If a gank fails, if you have farm coming up on some area of the map, and you have the opportunity to gank, look to gank, and if it fails, all right, no big deal. You probably got some ultimates out of it. You probably got some actives because you're Shirket. Let's fall back onto that red buff, or let's fall back and potentially do that purple buff if dual lane, doesn't mind you taking it. And then just, look to rotate somewhere else, because you just only doing back camps puts you at a, back camps getting that, only jungle experience puts you at a severe disadvantage. And like I said, you need to be one of the most powerful people on your team. And you'll notice that the more farmed you are, and I know you've been fed before in a game. Like everyone's been fed at least one time or another. When you're super strong like that, like you should be level 5 coming into this gank right now. Like, if you gank, I can't remember. And being level 5 just in general, just, puts you at a severe lead because you have ultimate advantage. And level 5 jungler ganks are like super strong and important. So you could be dashing at her, could be ulting her right now, but you back off. Like that's a 200 health HP Freya. Circuit's true damage is like 200 at level 5, and that's a kill for you. You don't even have to work for it. You just ult, and then you can just jump out or one out. So you not being level 5 kind of fucked you over. Vulcan's level 6. Here's a good example. What's the level 6 Vulcan in mid lane gonna provide for your dual lane that could have had a gank right there, that could have used and utilized you being level 5? Because if dual lane would have died, that's when you can start looking to pressure their jungle, or even look to get, tremendous amount of, Gold Fury is not quite up yet, force on Gold Fury whenever it spawns. It's like you could look to start taking stuff from them because you have numbers advantage, and from there, it's like it's kind of snowball. Like you can go take their back camps potentially. Like if you would have got the kill on Freya, only Artio and Osiris could have rotated potentially on those back camps. Like you could have dragged on her or Terra with you to those back camps. You guys could have forced a 3v, even a 4v5 with Vulcan rotating up, and you could have forced a 4v3, and you guys could have had numbers advantage to get even more off of that gank. You could have been taking more and more and more and more. But since you weren't level 5 right there, as you should be level 5 4 minutes in the game easily, if you're splitting mid-wave, Vulcan would be 5-2, you'd be 5. You kind of get the general idea. Okay. Okay, so something I want you as a jungler to focus on, this is communication. Instead of wasting your time looking at the red, ask your Vulcan, who has pure as day view on Soul, does Soul have red buff? Yes? Okay, so what do you know? Soul has a red buff. So what does that imply? The red buff is down. So if you going to go check red buff, waste your time. There's no reason for you to waste your time in checking a buff when you can literally ask in 2 seconds, Vulcan, does Soul have red buff right now? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go and do something else and get farmed somewhere else instead of wasting your time. And you got to think, oh man, it's just 3 seconds. It's no big deal. Just go check the red buff because I'm already here. But that 3 seconds compiles if you check that red buff again, you check that red buff again, or you check that speed buff, or you check that blank, or you check that blank, you check that blank. And then what happens is Serket can clear a back camp in like literally half a second, like at like level 6. You could be doing a half a second back camp instead. You're micromanaging, and this is something that pros do. They micromanage everything. If you want to be on that level, you need to start micromanaging everything you do and just think about the small things. And that's just something that you guys as a team need to communicate better. And that'll help you, just asking about what's up, what's down will help you in general altogether. So still level 4, 5 minutes in the game. You're going to hit level 5 off of this back camp, but like I said, we kind of covered that. Okay, so Fenrir right here. What? A quarter HP. He's an assassin. He's not a warrior. He's not a guardian. You have gank potential on that Fenrir. So you could have went from blue and straight up ganked Fenrir. But you're still wasting a lot of time just running in the jungle, not even splitting those archers. I mean, you're about to gank. Artio's about to peel hardcore because she's in her regular stance. There's her cripple. You're pretty much useless. Can't use your one. What you could have done is you could have ulted Soul and then threw her out of the cripple to do damage to her. That's what I would have done a little bit differently in that fight. Because I understand Artio makes it hard for you to kill anything, and that's probably what was going on, is Artio was making it pretty hard to kill anything in general that game for you. But you could also be utilizing your kit to get away from the cripple and then displace her and let Vulcan do the damage, if not secure the kill by dashing at her with your one and then 3ing out. You still haven't seen a nick of XP. You see you're backing again, you get back camps. You're going to go for these back camps. And then it's just you inherently just getting behind because you're not, I see that you're not ganking enough or you're not getting kills enough. They're pushed under tower. You can't really gank dual lane, but like you're just not splitting enough and you're not looking for opportunity to gank when you could. That blue was up. You could have ganked solo lane. That, you can have their red warded. I think their red actually is warded. No, they have your red warded. You can ward their red. Look to steal, invade the red. Just look to apply pressure. More pressure than what you are. Try to throw Cyrus into walls in your Serket. Just like Mercury, when you use the 3, use Serket's ultimate to throw him into walls. forced to back. You're missing out on more XP because you have to back. I mean, you have to back anyways, but you get the idea. You get the point. I want you as a jungler to look to split mid more. In these high-level get ranked games, these high-level SPL plays, you see the mid, the jungler taking, if solo lane back, go take that solo lane wave. If the mid lane back, go take that mid wave. It's not being selfish. It's called utilizing the map and making sure no XP goes to waste. And like I've explained to Tara before, she's kind of splitting mid a lot. Put the pressure on, Freya puts pressure on her a lot in this game. RDO can split that XP with on her, force her out, and then you're able to get that and share that XP with Vulcan a lot more. At one point, our Tara was like one level behind you, and that's just crazy. And you got to also think, the more you grow towards getting towards late game, the less XP that you could readily get unless you're running to waves and clearing them fast. But then you're away from your team, and that's putting your team at a disadvantage. So if you're not farming efficiently at the beginning of the game and as effective as you possibly can, the creeping what would the words be? The creeping inevitable end game that's coming is just going to completely slow down your farm by 3 or 4 times, and it's just it's not benefiting you being a level 13 jungler. And I could fast forward it, and you're a level 13 jungler trying to gank a level 19 soul and level 19 Freya at the same time, and it's just at that point, if I see that my level of difference that big, fuck that noise. I would not even attempt. I would just hey guys, I need a farm, because you're just going to end up dying, and it's just not going to it's not going to end up good for your team if you're roadkill. So I'm going to stop there. We kind of pointed out the glaring issues with the farm. Kind of micromanage the way you use your auto chain. I need you to be splitting mid waves more. Look to invade more. Try to take more. And then hopefully that will help you with your farming in the future. And if you still have questions or if you still have problems, we can review another one, and I can point out opportunity so that there's not such a huge level discrepancy between you and mid and you and ADC, because jungle, usually when I jungle, I'm always top gold. I'm always top level. It's just because you're farming so efficiently, and you need to be strong so that you could provide help for all areas of the map, not just ADC providing help for duo lane / mid and / gold fury contention, not just mid lane being, having the levels and having the strength in mid and then kind of in duo and then not really in solo. You need to be the strongest, because not just one side of the map needs you, not just the mid needs a mid, not just the duo needs a duo, because the entire map needs you to be strong, and that's what you need to keep in mind and think of. All right, good. Have a good day.